If you want to make launch videos like Notion, you're at the right place. This is the second episode of a 4-part series where we learn how to apply a success framework learned directly from Notion's launch videos. If you haven't seen the first episode yet, make sure to watch that before this. Here's a quick recap on what we've covered so far. In the previous episode, we covered how to brainstorm and plan the structure of our launch video based on Notion success patterns. In the last episode, we broke down the dinner menu framework: reveal, value, proof, and finally the CTA. We also split that framework into individual scenes that make up the launch video. And to keep the tutorial practical, we're going to make a launch video from scratch for a fictional product. Now, it's time to actually create everything needed for these scenes. We're going to create visuals like screen recordings, animated UI, and motion graphics like logo and icon animations. We're also going to be deciding the copy we want to be using in this launch video. This is where most teams get stuck. They know they have to create a launch video, so they start designing random visuals and don't give copy a second thought. To avoid this mess, let's create every asset needed for our launch video scene by scene. Let's start the reveal section. This part contains two scenes: the logo animation and the product introduction line. For the logo animation, we can use Cluzo's AI motion graphics feature to instantly create our animation. Next, let's go to Cluzo's library and pick a template that best suits our logo. Let's use this logo as a placeholder. Here, we can see Notion's template looks quite unique with the dot jumping around. And fortunately, our logo also has that dot. We can pick this template and upload our logo as an SVG in this case. Remember to use Claude Opus 4.6 for this. It's quite fast and the quality is up to the mark as well. Now, we can type our first prompt here. Replace the logo in this animation with my uploaded logo. This seems perfect in the very first prompt. Even though we have it ready in one shot, you can make adjustments to rectify your animation in the regeneration box here. You can also create your logo animation from scratch without ever using a template. It might take you a few more iterations than a template would, but you'll get there nonetheless. This seems like a great start to our launch video. Now, let's decide our product's one-liner. Here, our intention will always be to clearly answer, what exactly are you launching? We see a mix of styles that you can usually go with, but what works best is always give your viewers short and digestible content all at once. Let's limit our product one-liner to a maximum of 5 words. Since we want to introduce our AI dashboard, let's try AI dashboard to track everything. This is intentionally short. The reveal isn't supposed to explain the entire product yet. The goal here is clarity, not information. We keep it short enough to pique interest and finalize our opening copy's length. Now, we can also animate this slightly to keep it visually appealing. Let's animate the word everything by using a template that best suits our word. We can use the highlight template from the library here and change the text from the parameters we see below. Now, we can remove everything from our text box and align our animation correctly to add this. For the background of this slide, let's pick the brand color we see in the logo here and apply it just for now. And those are the assets we need for the reveal section. Now comes the value section. This is where we explain what the product actually enables. And this part is usually made up of capabilities. Short statements that describe what the product allows you to do. Again, limited to 2-3 words per capability like we see in Notion launches. Notice something important here. These are not feature explanations. These are capabilities. They focus on what the user achieves, not how the product works. This is another mistake many launches make. They jump into technical explanations. This is another reminder for the dinner menu framework. Instead of flooding your viewer with jargons that they don't understand, you should explain it to them in simple terms, just like a kind waiter would do for telling you what the specials for tonight are. Visually, this section usually works best with simple icon animations. You can also upload smaller images of these icons and add keyframe animations. This keeps the visuals clean and makes the information easy to scan. We can also create animations again by using the motion graphics feature. Think of this section as setting expectations. This way, our viewer is not caught in the headlights and intimidated by heavy UI all at once. By the time the viewer reaches the product demo, they should already know what they're looking for. Now we move to the proof section. This is where we finally show the product in action. And this section usually contains 3 types of visuals: product UI animations, and screen recordings with transition slides in the middle to keep context. The goal here isn't to show every feature. It is only to make the product feel very approachable. We can achieve this by product UI animations. These are used to introduce the interface visually. They're usually very stylized. We can achieve this by uploading screenshots of our UI and use Gemini 3.1 Pro for animating this. This model is the best in understanding abstract creative direction. We've also created a model comparison video to see which AI model creates the best motion graphics, and you can check that video out here. Gemini 3.1 Pro is the best when you do not have a reference in vector format. A simple PNG like a screenshot of your UI is enough to create a basic animation. Along with these UI animations, it's great practice to also include screen recordings to simplify and show real product interactions. You can do this from within the project itself. Click Add Clip and then record video. You can now screen record a short video, nothing more than 5 to 7 seconds, to show your workflow. One of the best practices to keep visual experiences clean is to make sure to rehearse the path of the cursor before you hit screen record. Also, hold for a short buffer time before and after every click. This pause will help you in editing and stitching later on. One important rule here, never switch to another screen recording without sharing context again. Always guide your viewer with transition slides between your screen recordings. Let's see a few examples here. These slides act like chapter breaks in the video. They reset the viewer's attention and prepare them for the next product demo. Here's a quick way to always write the neatest copy for your transition slides. Step number 1. Write the full function first. Almost as if you were transcribing the entire action to the viewer. In this case, we can say, you can now create customized dashboards in the click of 2 buttons using the Generate AI feature to send to different stakeholders. Step number 2. That seems like a mouthful. So let's identify our core words here. This can be one or multiple words that are essential to our context. Words like customized and dashboards are the main value proposition here. Step number 3. Now let's eliminate what can be said in another workflow. Like sending to different stakeholders can be a different slide altogether for a different screen recording. Step number 4. Let's now remove the fluff. To keep attention on our core words, customized dashboards, we go from this to this. Here we have changed in the click of 2 buttons to in seconds because both things here convey speed. Whether it's 2 clicks or 4, the value conveyed here is always going to be speed. Step number 5. Let's rearrange and eliminate further. The word create and generate here both meant the same thing. So we've gone with the word generate as the word here signals something AI related, as opposed to create. Create could be a little abstract and open up the scope to manually creating something. The word generate is also the button name for the feature that we're using, which they can then later recall when watching the demo and connect the dots themselves. And that's how you would create transition slides for each of your screen recordings. Let's now move on to the last part, the CTA. This is the moment where the viewer needs to be reminded that they can also use the product now. Your CTA is honestly the easiest part of your launch video. Try out some of these common phrases. These are all clear actionables for the viewers. This is how they take the first bite of the dish that you're serving and tremendously improve their chances of paying the bill, which means subscribing to your product. So now we have everything we need for our launch video. The framework from episode 1 and all the visual assets from episode 2. In the next episode, it all finally comes together. We're going to be discovering several ways to use the same assets and create different styles of videos for different audiences. And with that, we're halfway through learning how to make a launch video like Notion. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to not miss out the rest of the series. I'll see you on the next episode.